Tater tots, gather around the confessionals, and it's time for the sacred, cursed tradition that we call the Snatch Game. The challenge that every queen fears and every fan pretends to love. Was it iconic or was it tired? Or is the emotional equivalent of RuPaul gaslighting us all with a chuckle? The answer is yes. I'm Mackenzie, your hostess with the most opinions and the least patience for dead celebrity impersonations. And I am joined tonight by two absolute legends, Dakota and Tsunami Rayne Duvall. Say hello, dolls.
Hi.
How y'all doing? How'd y'all like this episode?
My Snatch Game, everyone knows Snatch Game is my favorite, one of my favorite challenges. So I was super excited to see, and I saw clips because I didn't watch the episode until yesterday. So I kept seeing clips and I was like, I gotta stop myself and just watch it before I see any more clips and it spoils it for me. So it was a pretty good episode. I thought with it being all stars and there being girls that had been on multiple seasons that it would be a little bit better than it was, but all in all, it was decent.
Yeah. What about you, Tsunami?
Well, Snatch Game is like the nitpicky of who the next winner is going to be. You already know. So, I mean, Snatch Game is always the one that you're always ready for. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, this episode had a little bit of everything. 9 queens are back in the room like it's episode 1 all over again. We are over the bracket fatigue, and I would say my opinion is this is one of the most mid Snatch Games that I can think of in recent memory. Like, the only one that was worse than this one, in my opinion, was season 14 when Deja Sky was the only one that was safe from having to do the Lollapalooza SmackDown, and everyone else had a lip sync.
It's to a different standard though, because it's all stars, and these queens. Well, some of the queens never got to do Snatch Game because they got booted off too early, so they'd never experienced it. But at the same time, it's all stars, and like many of the queens have been on multiple seasons of Drag Race and All Stars, so like that's pretty much the thing you need to prepare probably the most for, besides like your repertoire of clothing that you bring, your Snatch Game character.
Yeah.
Yep.
And another thing is like this is All Stars, so the girls know what to expect. So, bring it on, sis.
Yep. Before we get into all the bloodshed and all of the breakdown, let's talk about the looks that the queens came back in with. Because RuPaul said, some of them are saying I survived the bracket, and now here's my Sheen redemption arc. Let's start it off with Irene the alien.
Girl.
She's on the left, and then Bosco's on the right.
Yes. Irene is the glitter phoenix, and Bosco is the Cruella de Vil spider. Like, I love both of these looks. So good. I knew their entrance looks coming back together after the brackets were done that their entrance looks were going to be really good. So I love both of these. No critiques for me.
Yep, I agree. What about you, Tsunami?
All right, so Irene, like, wow. Like, her outfit is gorgeous. Bosco, I really like Irene's better than Bosco. So, but I wish she would have added something onto the, Cruella de Vil kind of look she's going for, it looks like. So, but other than that, it's gorgeous as well.
I love them both for different reasons. I think it's really hard to like compare anything because your entry look is your entry look. And this is their second entry look onto the runway, and there's no theme. I mean, you literally just wear whatever you want to wear, showcase your best drag. So right. I love these both for different reasons.
Yeah, I really liked Irene's look. It was something a little bit different. And Bosco, I expected a little bit more from Bosco, but it still was better than what some other people brought to the main stage, which, I mean, it's not like their entrance look. So, moving on along, we'll go to the other person in bracket 1, and that was Aja. Fucking loved it.
I know everyone was saying she was a little bit of a struggle bus with her wardrobe on her bracket a couple of episodes ago, but I feel like she redeemed herself with this look, because although I liked her looks in her bracket, nobody else did, but I think this was really good for her. And I thought she...
Well, we also have to remember that they had 6 to 7 months between filming their bracket to when they filmed this. Mm-hmm. So a lot of time passed. Like, they may have even had 8 months.
She said that little thing in the workroom too. I know we'll get to it, but she, brought up to Bosco, her trans sister, like, yeah, I live in New York. I'm in the ballroom scene, but like, I've really been struggling, especially financially. I'm trying to get back into drag after doing ballroom the last couple of years, and like having to build my drag wardrobe back up has been a real struggle. So like, you can kind of see she went on Drag Race on All Stars with her bracket with what she had, and then she came back like, oh girl, like I gotta step it up. I gotta give it all I got.
Absolutely. I mean, I really like these wings with the gold outfit. It could have been a different boot, but other than that, that's her look, like you said. And, I think it's a great look for her.
I agree with most of what y'all said, but I will respectfully disagree with Dakota on, I don't think she can use the she didn't have enough money. Hi, Mary. Thank you. Glad to see you here. My mothers. I don't think Aja can use Mary says she hated these shoes. Yeah, the shoes didn't really go with it. But I'm going to disagree with Dakota a little bit here, because I understand not having money, but you are now a Ru girl. You've been a Ru girl. You have the connections. There are plenty of queens that all she has to do is reach out and say, I'm going to Paris for 2 weeks and I need a cost. I need some outfits like Willem and some other people, and they will lend them their closet. So, which I don't know if some of that has to do with pride and not wanting to reach out and ask for help, but hi, Adam. Glad to see you.
I don't think she was using that as an excuse. I was just like,
okay.
When she had that talk with Bosco about it, I was like, well, maybe that's why her wardrobe in the first bracket wasn't as strong as it is now. I'm just like, in my head, that's like what I'm thinking. Like, oh, maybe that's what it was.
Calling Willem could land you good shoes. Yes, Willem's got all shoes for days, shoes and costumes for days, and she will lend them to the dolls because they're going on Drag Race, and she doesn't care the beef she's got with Drag Race. That doesn't matter. She's going to lend it to her sisters, and that's a good Judy right there.
Think she has beef with like World of Wonder or Drag Race. I think her beef is just with RuPaul, and yeah.
Do you remember her getting kicked out of DragCon last year?
I do.
And banned from DragCon?
Yeah, but was that not because of RuPaul?
Who is World of Wonder? And
so
RuPaul is World of Wonder. World of Wonder is RuPaul.
Yeah, but they've always had this beef for the longest time. More so because Matthew.
Well, she stood up for the dolls.
It's more so because of Matthew Anderson. He helped her throughout, RuPaul's Drag Race saga, and
Matthew Anderson is the one that took RuPaul's image from Club Kid to drag queen, superstar of the world. So Matthew Anderson, she owes a lot to Matthew Anderson. I mean, Matthew Anderson basically did everything on the earlier seasons besides designing the outfits. Anderson did everything. So yeah, World of Wonder pays, when he was sick and stuff and couldn't work, they paid for his care, which is good. But from what Willem was saying, I was visiting Matthew Anderson multiple times, and Ru was never on that sign sheet, the sign out sheet. So go see your friend. If you're a friend,
Ru fired him. Ru fired him and quit talking to him. Do not cross the mother of fracking.
Lord.
Instead of the mother of dragons, RuPaul is the mother of fracking. Let's move on along to bracket 2. We have Georges. I thought it was cute. I just think it was basic for Georges. Like, I expected her to come out in something better. I mean, it is giving me a nod to like Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it was just too simple. I've seen her look better.
It's not that it was simple. It's not really aesthetically what we're used to seeing from her, which is, I guess, technically a good thing, but it's coming off like more costumey than like actual, like, I don't know. It just comes off more costumey than like runway. But
Mary said, wear the swimsuits, Georges.
I mean, we are used to seeing her in a swimsuit
or a dance costume with fringe.
Or a leotard. Yeah. Yep. That is what we're used to seeing her in. But she does have really good drag. She does have a good wardrobe, but I don't like this hair on her. Like, I love her in a black, a brown, like a red.
I disagree.
Like
I actually like this color on her because it's different. I wish that this touched I wish the gloves went up just about 2 inches higher, and I wish the dress touched the floor. Like, I wish I couldn't see her shoes underneath.
I agree with you, Mackenzie, about the length and the gloves. It could have been a little bit higher. I will say, with lighter hair, it literally brightens your face. So I do really like her full look, even though it didn't go to the ground. It's cute. She wanted to show off her shoes. Cute. But I love
that she's in an updo, because we never see her in an updo. So we're never able to see her, like, her chiseled, her jawline, her clap, all of it. She's got gorgeous bone structure. And I love that we can see that here. I don't know. Moving on in bracket 2, we have Lydia Butthole Collins.
Tsunami. We'll let you go first.
I didn't really like this outfit. She could have, put in time to make a better costume. I mean, you're coming from a prior season onto here, coming back to, the competition 100% now. So, I mean, I don't really like this outfit. Her cover up that she has in her hand. I don't know. I just don't like this look, but I'm really excited to see what she brings.
I like it. It's not the most amazing gown that we've ever seen on the runway, but it's glitter. I love glitter. But I will say, she has a very almost like whimsical, high fashion eye for drag. And it's really nice to see her in something a little bit more classic and old school drag in a gown like this that isn't so out there and like hard to kind of like understand. So yeah. I do applaud her for that. So, it's not my favorite one, but it was good.
I agree with you, Dakota. And I also agree. I don't like the shrug thing as much, but I don't really think she wore it as much as, just kind of carried it. I wish, kind of same note as we were giving for Georges, I wish the gloves were just a little bit higher. It would have just polished the look up a little bit more. I love the whole Hollywood glamour aspect of it. I just wish her hair was more Anna Nicole Smith. Mm-hmm. Like if it was a different color and kind of like the Anna Nicole Smith, like updo, but where it was kind of like messy with tendrils falling out of it, that would have looked perfect with this, I think.
She like a brown hair or a blonde.
Or good, like a ruby chestnut or something like that,
yes.
She did pay attention to detail with it because she has it lined in black underneath. The gloves are black. Her shawl is black. And then her hair and lips and eyeliner are black. So it's
Well,
still,
so if anyone watches Roscoe's recap, she did talk about coming into this that with her first bracket, she had to make everything by hand because she didn't have Drag Race money yet. So she is in the middle of touring where she had to go in for this. So everything was outsourced. She didn't make most of the things that she's going to have on the runway for the next couple of episodes. And because she has the money to be able to do that. So, yeah. So, I mean, we should have expected to see her have a level up because of that fact. But, yeah, sorry. Moving on along, we're going to go to a 200-pound lighter, Mistress Isabel Brooks. I'll go first. I fucking love this on Mistress. I love her new body. Her makeup is, I mean, you cannot come for her makeup. Her makeup is stamped. Her face always looks gorgeous. The hair, I love this hair on her. It's different than anything that we've seen from her in the past couple of episodes. And her body is just kudos to her. Like, I can separate the person and their antics from the looks. So as for this look, chef's kiss. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Mistress's chaos, but I will give her flowers and say that she is a very, very, for as young as she is too, she's not even 30 years old. I mean, she's in her mid-20s.
She's 25, isn't she?
Yes, she's like in her mid-20s, and she's got like the old school glamour aspect. She has like her body, her mug, her hair, everything stamped, but she's good at almost everything. So
her birthday is July 14th, 1998. So she will be 27 on July 14th, 2 days after my birthday. My birthday is Saturday.
She is 4 years younger than me. So yeah, as much as I'm not a fan of like her antics and her chaos energy, I will say she is very, very good at drag. The only thing, her original season, her makeup has always like been stamped, period. There's no doubt about it. But her eyeshadow and eyeliner and stuff stopped at a certain point and it looked good. But I feel like after she finished Drag Race and since then, she makes her eyeshadow and eyeliner go all the way into her hairline. And that's the only thing that I don't like, but it's her drag. She can do what she wants. I just wish that she would kind of do it the old way where she doesn't drag it all the way into her hairline.
If you notice, it's not dragging all the way out to her hairline here in this one. It's stopping at a certain point, kind of like where we're. So I think she's edited, especially now that she's lost weight. But like the bigger girls, for big girls, her face is a stamp. Every Texas big girl that you come across in drag is going to have the exact same face stamped on. Like, yeah.
Adam, she is not in any era like she liked to say on her original season. I'm in my good girl era. No, baby. She's in her chaos era for life. That is what she's great at. She's great TV. She knows how to pit people against each other. That's what she is. If you look under the definition of chaos, Mistress Isabel Brooks' profile picture will be there.
What do you think, Tsunami?
So this look is absolutely fabulous. The House of Brooks is always, full of all sorts of chaos, and I just love this. Her makeup is flawless, and the hair, I absolutely love it, and her whole outfit was super, super gorge. Mistress Isabel Brooks is a very sweet person, but she is great TV. So, I have my thoughts on her, which are a lot of positive. But, this is TV, and, it is a competition and it is drag, and, they will really fulfill.
Well, look, we'll unpack it here. I was going to wait for her, but we'll unpack it here. In this episode, we got a different side of Mistress. We got to see the emotional side of Mistress. And as someone who no longer performs, but someone who did perform in the day, and as somebody who was a bigger girl, you have to put on a armor. Like, yes, whenever you're doing drag, you've got an armor anyway, but you've got to have a thick fucking skin, especially being a bigger girl, because it's just a fact. And hurt people and say things that are going to hurt other people. So I felt like Mistress is a very hurt person. She's got a lot of baggage. Like, we know some of her backstory. Mistress has a lot of things. Is it fair for her to put that on other people? No. But name a queen on Drag Race that hasn't done that to a certain extent. Naming, you can't, because most of them have at some point in their life gone through shit and projected stuff on other people. So kudos for her for doing Drag Race the first time and realizing I finally have something to live for. Because before that, she felt like she had nothing to live for. She actually started to enjoy her life. And she went and got the help, which is something that a lot of people don't do. But she went and got the help, and it inspired her to start losing weight, which is why we see the person in front of us right now. You can say all you want to about Miss Isabel Brooks, but you can't just take a shot and get that weight. You have to change your diet. You have to work out. And she's posting videos of her working and working and working and just working out nonstop. So, I mean, kudos to her.
Yeah, I felt like with her losing weight, I was like, maybe some of it is just a little chip on her shoulder. Like, I used to be thicker and, I had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. I'm like, maybe some of it's put on, maybe some of it's a little bit of a chip on her shoulder. I'm like, maybe when she loses the weight, she'll lose some of that. She's worse. She's worse. She's worse.
I don't feel like she was worse in this episode. I mean, I feel like she's delusional. But, I mean, who on TV that's popular isn't delusional to a certain extent?
And, every season has the shady shenanigans queen, and...
But, I mean, we have her to thank for it. Before her, when she came on, there was no queen going all the way back to probably... Bianca Del Rio is probably the last just messy, chaotic queen that we've had on Drag Race. And I wouldn't say evil.
Sweetest.
But, that's because of Mistress, we now have Plain Jane. Because of Mistress, we've had, Sam Star. She changed Drag Race, whether it was for good or bad, but that's what people expect. So now she's kind of stuck in that, where that's what people expect to see from her when she goes places. It's her saying things and the shenanigans. So it's like a little thing that she keeps putting on, I think. Everything got here, though, I'll give her this. For her antics, she pays the girls well. People who come and perform for her or do things or do her show, she pays them good coin, and then she gets them a booking in Houston where they make good coin, and she puts them up in a hotel.
Yep.
That's more in Tsunami, that's hard to get from somebody.
Yeah.
So
she is a very sweet queen, but
hi, Sean.
With RuPaul's Drag Race, it's a different story, and we understand that. But she has good intentions as well. She's playing a competition.
I mean, just like Alyssa Edwards. If Alyssa Edwards came on and started and did it tomorrow, she's going to be up in the mirror. She's going to be doing her tongue pop. She's going to be doing this. She's going to be 3 fucking hours late. And it's going to be some shenanigans and some antics and some rigomoretry.
Yeah.
I mean, because that
rigomoretry.
We're going to because that's Alyssa Edwards. Anyway. Yes, bully. Yes, she can be a bully, but so can a lot of queens that do that kind of more mean girl persona. Some call it bullying, some call it reading, some call it, whatever.
I asked it in the group chat a couple minutes ago. I was like, do you love the chaotic evil of Mistress Isabel Brooks, or is it just that at the end of the day, we love to hate her, we hate to love her?
Yep. I love to hate her. I love, it's good TV. If she wasn't doing this, it would have been a boring ass episode. So at least we had her shenanigans and antics to keep us entertained. And I love how delusional she is because she said, "Oh, I didn't win this episode, but at least I came in second." Bitch, you did not come in a fucking second.
She's
I'm close to God.
And she was downplaying everybody else that was like better than her. She was downplaying like, "Oh, sis, they didn't really laugh that much at your jokes. You might be in the bottom this week."
Because it's a game. It is a game. This is not RuPaul's best friend race. This is RuPaul's Drag Race. This is a competition. If you were going into a competition show like this and you are not trying to get into the head of every single person you're competing against, you are doing yourself a disfavor.
Yep.
If I was on there, I don't care if you're my best friend, Dakota. If you and I were on the same season, you'd have gotten, let's say you got all the last. I'd been like, girl, I know you thought you were good, but you sucked. It was bad, girl. Ooh.
To put you in that mentality that you're going to lose, and then it messes with you, and then, the person will go forward while you're in the background.
When I did a pageant, I would go in, and if I was like, we were getting ready for evening gown, I would do this number right here. Oh, you're wearing that? And finish getting ready.
It could be
the most gorgeous gown in the world.
I think the new generation of Drag Race fans aren't used to. I'm just gonna say, like, Mistress Isabel Brooks, probably not my favorite drag queen, but is she good at drag? Yes. Is she good at reality TV? Yes. But she's not my favorite person just based off of her personality on Drag Race. But I think the problem is she's old school drag, like her antics and stuff, especially with the competition. The newer watchers of Drag Race and the newer fans aren't used to that kind. They're used to like the dumbed down version of Drag Race, the more clean, non-offensive version of Drag Race. I'm like, if you watch the earlier seasons, this is about how it was. Like Fifi O'Hara, this is what Fifi O'Hara wanted to be. Unfortunately, that did not happen for her. She let the competition get in her own head instead of getting into everybody else's heads.
And if it's offends anyone, I apologize in advance, but you're just gonna have to get the fuck over it. If you're watching drag and you don't get offended by something, then there's a problem. Drag is supposed to be offensive. Drag is offensive for a reason. Drag has changed the course of this country so many fucking times, and they don't get the credit for it. But drag queens, hello, Divine. If you've never seen Divine, you need to look it up. And if you haven't, you need to watch it. And you need to watch her pick up dog shit, not chocolate. This isn't a movie where they just put a piece of chocolate down and she picked it. No, she picked up literal dog shit off of the ground and plopped it into her mouth and literal dog shit.
That is why I do not watch John Waters films, except for Hairspray. But
woo. Girl, you don't want to go. Bentley's over there. Bentley, come take a duty for mommy. Mommy's gonna eat chocolate on camera.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I did not know that there was anything going on with Cynthia Lee Fontaine and Lexi Love.
Mary, we need you to give us some details. What's going on with Lexi Love and Cynthia Lee Fontaine?
Yeah, because Lexi is just now making her little comeback after taking a break.
And Adam said, true Dakota, Mistress Isabel Brooks is very season 1 to season 4 vibes. I mean, hello, do we remember the Heathers? And Heather's calling all these other girls the boogers? That wasn't...
Could you imagine Mistress Isabel Brooks and Gia Gunn and Bianca Del Rio and Laganja Estranja all in a competition together? Like,
I want a villain season. I want a villains season with Gia.
Girl, they would be rooting each other for Phil.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Bianca Del Rio and Mistress Isabel Brooks, baby, there wouldn't be any air in the room.
Oh, or we need a spinoff, a Drag Race spinoff called Drag Race Bad Girls Club. And it's Fifi O'Hara, Gia Gunn, like Plain Jane, Mistress Isabel Brooks, like
a whole
the critics about the Snatch Game, how Cynthia was in the bottom and Lexi was top for similar critics. Oh, okay. Look, Lexi Loves was at least funny. Cynthia Lee Fontaine, it was bad, but it wasn't bad in a way that it was getting laughs. It was just bad as in it was getting awkward.
I thought it was, I thought Cynthia Lee Fontaine's was hilarious until like her ring comment. And I think
but like I said, it was hilarious, but then it started getting weird, cringy. Yeah. And the more it went on, you're more like, oh, girl. With Lexi Love, it was more like, oh my fucking God, like, she's fucking bombing.
She was like Lexi Love was like it was like a train wreck that you couldn't look away from. And like I think I'm one of the only people that defended Lexi on last season when we were talking about everybody else. You guys were very harsh on Lexi Love. Like it wasn't.
I wasn't.
Or maybe it was just Mackenzie.
It was me. Yeah, it was.
Or maybe it was just me and Tsunami defending Lexi.
Absolutely, every single episode.
I completely disagree with people saying that Cynthia and Lexi combining are saying it's similar. I would say Lexi was more similar to Bosco in this episode, where Bosco was trying to do the impersonations and she couldn't get the voice. And so you just kind of heard her halfway through the voice be like, whatever.
She's like, well, this character, it was smart though. Bosco was really smart. I know we're going to get more into it as the episode goes on, but she was really smart because she's like, this character ain't working. Let me put on another wig and hope for the best.
Yes.
Or she's like, I'm Cher, bitch. And it was so fucking bad. But like, it was like, we'll get to that later. But yeah, to answer your question, Mary, I felt like that was the difference. With Cynthia, the more it went, it was just like, it started cute. And then it was like, and it was like, oh.
It was like Medea.
Joseph Collins. I love Joseph Collins. Lexi was fun to watch bomb, but a lot of that factored in appearance and a crappy impersonation. Poor Cynthia just got lost in the middle of her joke. And RuPaul kept giving Cynthia ways to dig herself out of the hole that she was in. And Cynthia just wasn't catching on. And Cynthia was just, But we'll get to that in a minute.
Going.
Moving on along, we have another skinny legend, another skinny mini, Ginger Minge. I'll go first on this one. Fucking love the look. I love her new body. I wish her hair was a little bit smaller and maybe pulled back from the face a little bit just to match her new body. I feel like the hair is a little bit too big for her new body. But other than that, fucking love it.
Tsunami.
I love it as well. I agree with you, Mackenzie. The hair could be a little bit shorter.
And we normally don't say that. We're normally like, this. They need to get some bigger hair. Here, this matched her old body. We need some new hair for the new body.
Like her face is like mine is more like oval, and hers is more round. So like it just it's a little different, but you know the look was cute, and I love her confidence. Let's just say. She has lost so much weight, and I believe that, you know, she's ready. She's ready. Let's go.
Yep. Dakota. Mary, by the way, said a new twink competing for RuPaul's attention.
I hate to say this because I'm not trying to read her because I love her, but since she's like lost weight, especially since she's lost weight, her wigs are like so big and ginormous. She is giving me on Shea Coulee's season of Drag Race when they made over some of the camera crew, and the sassiest one with the red hair. That is who she reminds me of in this look. Like, you cannot tell me.
What was his name?
The most famous
Major, something like that. It's something weird.
That is who Ginger Minge is giving me in this look.
Oh, absolutely.
It is very Reba McEntire circa like 1986, going to the Grand Ole Opry.
Sarge.
Yes, Sarge. Yes, that is who she reminds me of when she's wearing these big red wigs. Yes, Joseph Collins, wintergreen. That is who Ginger Minge is giving me now. Every time I see Ginger Minge, that's who I think of.
Also, Joseph Collins said, I swear to God, I saw someone say the Snatch Game was rigged for Ginger. Like it's not the same format, 16 seasons in a row. I completely agree.
I will say it is not Ginger's fault that Ginger Minge is good at everything. The only thing that she said she's not good at is making a gown and designing a gown. That's the only thing she's not good at is sewing. She's good at everything else. Like, is it that they're trying to get her to win every challenge, or is it that she's just good at everything?
Yep. And I'm sorry. The people that are saying that are the ones that are mad because their favorite queen flopped or didn't do as good. But, you know, every single challenge, that's why this season got a little bit stale in the brackets, is because we kept getting group challenges for like singing. We kept getting all of these acting challenges, and we kind of had a couple of rules. But they had to kind of keep it fair for each bracket, I guess. And so, I mean, sorry, she did great. Are we sitting here saying the same thing about Bosco and Irene the Alien because they mop bracket 1? Are we sitting here and saying that about Georges or about Lydia because they mop bracket 2? Like, you know, people just need to get the fuck over it and sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yep.
And it's like you said, Joseph Collins, 16 second seasons in a row. And if we're going to include all of the All-Star seasons, 26 fucking seasons. We've had either a Snatch Game or the Snatch Game of Love or something like that where you have to impersonate a character. And if you come sit here and say that Ginger Minj has not sat there and fully realized these characters, she knows how to do it. So do a couple of people. Most people on this season obviously did not. But it's not that hard. I mean, it's hard, but it's not that hard. You know it's coming. So if you know you're going, you should have already fleshed all of this shit out.
Yep.
And I think we said that about last season, like season 17. A lot of these girls coming and they're like, oh, I have to do the Snatch Game. I have to sew.
I firmly believe that they're not catering to Ginger Minj. I just think that Ginger Minj is so seasoned and she's been on so many seasons of Drag Race. And she knows reality TV and she knows competition now. She's just going to bulldoze through everything. That's just what it is.
Yep. And also, I do have to say she's very well-rounded. I think somebody's already said that. But I do believe that, you know, she is a tough competitor. And she does bring it to the table. So, I mean, people can hate on her all day long. But she is one of the nicest queens. And but yep. she is also a competitor.
Yep. And you know who else is a nice queen? Since we want to talk about it, since we're talking about Mistress Isabel Brooks. There's not a single place that she's gone to and done a show that's like, oh, we will never have her back again. They love her because she's good. She's sweet to everybody that's there. Yes, she may say something here, but I mean, that's her character. You know, you can tell when a girl in Drag Race is good at what they do when they're booked and blessed. And Mistress is booked and blessed along with some others. A lot of the ones that aren't booked and blessed are the ones that are sitting home not doing shit.
Mistress is professional. The thing is, she blends old school drag with a modern outlook on things. So like as good as like very old school glamour with her drag, but like she has the like a modern mindset when it comes to like social media and reality TV. She's like, I'm going to play up this chaos energy for social media and Drag Race and get the girls going. But when it comes to like my professional life, I'm very professional. I'm on time. Like that's just what it is.
Well, and look, when like, and Tsunami will know what I mean by this, but like when you are doing shows and once you get to the point where you're a host and you're hosting shows, you have to learn how to banter. You have to learn how to read people. And honestly, nobody is off limits. And a lot of that you learn in the dressing room because queens in the dressing room are hateful cunts to each other. I mean, it's just point blank period. And they say it with love, though. They're like, I can't believe you wearing that old busted down wig again, you ugly ass fucking bitch. And they say it so mean, but then they mean it with love. Yeah. But, you know, when you go out on stage, you have to take it like Mistress. The reason that she gets under so many people's skin is because they let her. It's not Mistress's fault that you want to take it so personally and get all butthurt about it. It's your fault because you're letting her do that. If you would sit there and be like, you so fucking crazy, I love you, then she's going to quit because she's not able to get under your skin.
Yep.
Anyway, moving along to Diabetes. Girl, what the fuck is this? Like, I love you, Diabetes, but this is... We've seen so much better from you. What do y'all think?
You want to go, Dakota?
I think watching them walk down the runway, I think it makes it look a little bit better. It is very simple. I believe I've seen this like something similar to this dress on a runway before. It's giving very much like the back in like the 2010s when the bandage dresses were really popular, like the tight fitting bandage dresses, and everyone was wearing them. It's very that, but it's also giving
Like when Sharon Needles made it popular.
Well, not an actual bandage dress, but like the bandage dresses that were popular, like Gigi Gorgeous on YouTube was always rocking them. Mariah Carey was wearing them. Like they were just very popular, tight fitting dresses, and like they were like monochromatic, like one color.
I like this from the shoulders up.
It's simple for a runway on Drag Race and a second entrance look. I feel like it's a little simple. I like it. It's just a little simple for the runway.
Like bracket 1 ate it up in the looks, in my opinion. The rest of the brackets was just kind of.
It's.
What do you think, Tsunami?
It's just okay.
It was definitely a choice. I love the shoes and the hair. But I think she could have had a different look, but she chose this one. So, I mean, it's definitely a choice, but it's cute. But other than that, I wouldn't say it's the best.
And last but not least, we have Cuckoo.
I really like it. I feel like it's probably one of her strongest looks that she's had. If you compare her bracket looks to this is eons ahead of what she was wearing in her bracket.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I
like the neck down. I just don't like the neck up.
Yeah, I feel like I love the facial piece. I just feel like her hair, it's a good color, like the lilac, muted lavender color, very pretty. I just feel like it needed to be bigger. Like some girls just can't pull off the pussycat wigs, and she is a curvy.
Is that a pussycat wig or is that a headpiece that's like fastened up under the nose?
No, it's like it is almost like a
I guess it is.
It is a lacquered pussycat wig.
Girl, she need to pussy that cat back home.
I like the color. I just feel like it needed to be either like a bigger like updo, or it needed to be like more like Afro-esque or something. But I like the look. Like overall,
it looks like she put her head up Barney's ass and pulled it out, and it had purple shit all over it. Well, Tsunami, tell us what you think about it. I love you.
For any of our new viewers, y'all are wondering.
Somebody stood their head up my ass.
Where anybody is wondering about how our judging skills are, like I'm the Paula and Mackenzie is obviously the Simon, and Tsunami,
I am truthful.
Tsunami is a mix of Paula and Randy. Like it's a no for me, dog.
So I do have to say I really did like this look. It's very different, definitely in her case. And, I really liked what she did with her face. It's very out of the box of what she would normally do. What is it, Mackenzie? What is it?
I disagree. I like her. I like it from the neck down. The neck up, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck happened.
Now, the hair could have been different.
Well, that's why I was saying it looked like she stuck her head up Barney's ass and got purple shit all over it.
Well,
tell me it don't. Tell me it don't look like she gave a Oompa Loompa or Barney a head job with her head and got like.
I mean, her wig was a choice, but I don't hate it. It's
choices.
A definite look, but it is choices. But I believe that if she did have a different wig on, it would have been more polished.
even if it was just like a little bit, like even on her promo pic, like if she did this because she did the purple, even if it wasn't black, if she did it that color, or even the black color like this because she was doing like that purple blue look, this would have been the perfect wig to wear with that.
Yep. I'd agree. I agree. All right. So we're moving on to the Snatch Game. So here we're going to judge them on making it rain, whether we would tip them $1 or whether we would go outside and take a smoke break. So first up, we are going to have we had Raven and why did her name just go the fuck? Raja. From Toot It or Boot It, whatever it's fucking called.
Toot or Boot It.
Oh Lord Jesus.
It's Raja and Raven are they do a segment with World of Wonder called Fashion Photo Review. Where they
thank you.
Mackenzie, are you okay?
I'm tired. It was a Monday.
Good Lord.
Anyway, but really, I don't think I got one at the end. What did we think about at the end of this? Raven being crowned. It's just a hint as to snatching the crown from the person who won it in season 2.
RuPaul has seen the controversy with the season 2 winner and is probably now wishing that she would have given the crown to Raven because Raven's been on Drag Race and All Stars and was second place runner-up both times.
And whether it was staged or not, RuPaul allowed that edit to go out. So there's a reason behind it.
I think she is giving her honorary crown. And I don't think she'll be in the Hall of Fame per se, but I feel like she has an honorary crown now.
Joseph Collins, you are what Joseph Collins is talking about here is Big Brother's about to air. There's this mystery 17th house guest that's going to be a masked house guest, and all they're giving us is this big cutout shape. And so Joseph Collins said, Raja is clearly the 17th house guest based on that hat and the clues that we've been getting. I completely agree, Joseph Collins. Let's put Raja in the fucking Big Brother house. Why not? We need a drag queen on our televisions, on national television every night, just to piss off the Trumpers. If for no other reason than to piss them off, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Anyway, so let's talk about Bosco as Kenny Kerr's impersonation wheel. What'd y'all think?
She did 3 different characters, correct? She did Kenny Kerr's.
She did Kenny Kerr impersonating Cher, impersonating
Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny. Like, I know that compared to Ginger Min, she probably wasn't as funny, but honestly, the fact that she like kept changing wigs, she's like, this character isn't really getting that much life. Let me change my wig. That was camp and funny in itself. So I actually really liked it.
Well, honey, she wasn't changing her wig. She was just twisting it around on her head.
Well, she changed it to a black wig for Cher.
No.
I would tip her. I would tip her like a 10.
I would too.
So I would say that's making it rain.
I would too. I think she did fairly well. So yeah, that's my.
I agree. So we were talking about it at the beginning, but I would say that she is more like last season with oh God, why am I forgetting everybody's fucking name? Lexi Love. I would say she was more similar to Lexi Love. Lexi Love was bombing and it was funny because she kept like, oh shit. I would say Bosco was fucking up, but Bosco knew that she was fucking up and not doing good on the impersonations. So she made it funny. And that let us in on the joke. That let us in on the laugh.
Unlike Lexi, though, Lexi broke character, whereas she.
Well, I mean, she did too. Because remember, at one point she's like, "I'm going Rivers now," and it was a horrible voice. And then she's like, "Now I'm Cher. I've been here a lot of times."
But she
so that was breaking character, letting us know who she was.
She was still impersonating the character. It may not have been a well done and thought out impersonation, but she was still in character. Lexi Love fell out of character whenever she didn't get something out the way she wanted. She's like, "Oh shit!" Like,
well, I mean, that's also what Gilbert Gottfried would do a lot of times. Oh, shit. So she could have gone with it.
Gilbert, like her doing Gilbert Gottfried was very like Detox coded when Detox was doing the roast, and she was just like, "Shit, I had to write so small to fit all this in. Oh, let me just look at my notes here. Oh, damn." Like that's what it was giving.
True.
Great representation, Dakota.
like I told you before, Tsunami, Dakota will pull out a reference that I have forgot she will pull out her Dakota dictionary and will like give you word for word something that happened in season 3, and I'm like, how the fuck? I can't remember what panties I wore yesterday, much less.
Yes.
Oh wait, I didn't wear panties yesterday. It was Sunday.
I'm a Drag Race fan coming from that. I've never done drag before, and then y'all are Drag Race fans, but y'all come from doing drag before Drag Race was even a thing. So we have different perspectives on it. So like, I think that's why I so immerse myself in Drag Race, because I love drag. And I know that Drag Race is just a completely different version than what like authentic drag is. But I just hold Drag Race to a certain standard because that's really all that I got to see growing up, because I don't go to drag shows. I don't really go to like gay bars or anything. And I know
wish you were a little bit closer to Birmingham or, Montgomery, so you could go to something, because, I think you would be, if you were able to see a few more shows and see if you think, you would really quickly realize that a lot of the queens that are performing are not shit. Mm-hmm. That there's a few that are rare gems and jewels that come out of it, and you can really quickly tell that they're going to go somewhere.
Well,
like Tsunami's in that boat. Sam Starr was in that boat.
Delta Work made a good point on the Very Delta podcast. She said a lot of people's them seeing drag for the first time was Drag Race. So like, you don't have a real representation of drag. You see a televised reality competition version of drag. If you want the real thing, the nitty gritty, the real talent, like the rawness, you need to go out to your local bar and see drag queens perform, because there are amazing drag queens out there that will never be on Drag Race that are eons ahead of girls that have won Drag Race.
Absolutely. I have to agree with that, Dakota.
But I would change that to say, instead of going to a show, you need to go to a drag pageant. If you want a well-rounded experience, go to something like if Alabama, for example, like Central Alabama Pride pageants, some of the bigger things like that, where you can get the misters, the misses, the films, the kings and the MX, and you can see a well-rounded group of individuals, but you can see evening wear, creative presentation. You can see how they do with the question and answer, and it gives you more of an understanding of how good or who an entertainer is, But but go out and support local drag. Tip them,
Because
it's bartenders.
Because being on a reality show does not give you the experience of what real drag is. It just shows basically, it's like
Look at Sugar and Spice, for example.
What?
Sugar and Spice, for example.
Right. They were TikTok famous, and then they went on Drag Race, and they were like, oh, crap,
And they couldn't lip sync their way out of a wet paper bag.
There's a difference between social media drag, reality TV show drag, and authentic drag that is homegrown that starts in a bar.
Thank you, Joseph Collins. The rawness is a drag queen pretending to blow a random audience member and throwing their hat into the audience. Drag television is glamour. Drag shows are nasty and actually funny. Completely agree.
And I do have to say, you know, like my experience with drag, you know, I grew up in Roanoke, Virginia, where I am now. And, you know, at, 18 years old, I went to a place called the Park Dance Bar. And I saw my very first performance of a drag queen, and I loved it. It's a whole different experience. And like, I do agree with you, Mackenzie, if you go and watch a pageant, you will love what drag is.
Because unfortunately, if you go to a show, it's not going to give you a great representation because 9 times out of 10, they don't perform. They don't allow MX performers to perform. They don't allow femme performers to perform. They don't allow drag kings to perform because they are not deemed. Like there's a couple of exceptions, like Spiky Van Dyke, can get booked anywhere just by showing up, but they're rare. So a drag pageant, you're going to see Miss, female, femme performers. You're going to see MX. You're going to see, male or drag king performers, like a well-rounded mix.
And I also have to say, Mackenzie, definitely with moving back here and going to the park, they have all that there. Femme, MX, they have drag kings, they have drag queens, they have all the in-betweens. Like,
which is rare.
It is super rare.
Rare. But kudos to them for doing that. That means they're one of the more progressive area and bars because,
Absolutely.
Yep.
They get
that's why I like it, because I think we get a good mix. We got like Tsunami, who is a title holder that is a current drag queen. And then we've got Mackenzie, who is trans that used to do drag but has since retired. And then we got
a national title holder.
And then we got me, who is trans but has never done drag and has never been on a stage and has never performed live for an audience. But I respect it all because I know just from my perspective how hard that is.
But you're also like how I'm on Big Brother. I'm a Big Brother super fan. I would say you are a Drag Race super fan. Like you've seen every episode of Drag Race. You know it front and backwards. And multiple genres like Drag Race Canada, the UK, Australia, UK versus the world. Like you've watched most all of those. So let's move on along to Georges as Pitbull. And baby, she brought the bald-headed chaos.
I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I'm like, she's playing to her strengths because she's like this little petite, tiny little gay boy and is super feminine. And the fact that pretty much everything that she's ever done where she's like a masculine character, she does well and she excels in. So glad she played to her strength. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. It was a little shaky at first. But when she said, I want a piece of that ass, died. I would.
Joseph Collins, by the way, says a lot of drag shows get cliquey and end up stale because they stop doing out-of-town bookings and they just book their friends. It is sad. Support local queens means a little more than just your hometown queens. Completely agree. Yes. And like back in the day when I performed, I would have a rotation, a 2-month rotation. So this week I would always be in Meridian was my home bar, but I'd be in Meridian. Next weekend I was in Jackson. Then I was in Hattiesburg. Then I was on the coast. Then I was in New Orleans. Then I was in Home, Louisiana. Then I was in Baton Rouge. Then I was in Mobile. Then I was in Pensacola. Then I was back. So it was just kind of like a little, and that's what you did. And because I went to those places, I booked the girls from those places. And you rub my back, I rub your back. Okay. But sadly, it's not.
It could be. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Lady Gaga. Woke up, tour bus, caught a flight, sang, caught another flight, tour.
I mean, if you're a traveling drag queen and you're trying to do that's kind of how it is. And you're working a full-time job on top of that. So like Friday night, you get off, you go to your local bar, you do stuff. Then Saturday morning, you're getting up, you're driving to wherever you're going, getting a hotel, throwing a face on. You got to get to the bar at least 2 hours early so you can mingle and meet and greet. Then you have to go and get ready for the show. Then you have to do the show. Then you have to cool off, reapply your makeup, put on a new set of clothes to go back and do more meet and greets and take photos with people to then get your check.
Yep.
And if you're in New Orleans or Pensacola, then you go out for the after partying. Anyway,
Speaking of,
so what were you saying about Pitbull?
I will be down in the Panhandle in a couple of days. No, ma'am. I booked a trip for it was really just supposed to be like a getaway trip, but then I was like, hey, let's book a trip for like get a bigger room, and I booked a bigger condo so that my mom and dad could go as their mother's Father's Day present, because I haven't been to the beach in 4 years and I live 3.5 hours from the Panhandle. What's the excuse? And I was born in Florida. My Florida blood is calling me. I need to get back to the beach. I need to get back to my home. So I will be leaving this week and I will be there for 4 days. And I'm so excited. It'll just be like family. It'll just be like my mom, my dad. My baby
you miss
brother.
home? You're going to go back to the orphanage?
Oh my God. But yes, I will be in Panama City Beach.
Anyway, what were you saying about Pitbull?
I would tip it like $5.
Oh, so you give Bosco more money than you would have given Pitbull.
Well, Bosco's was funnier to me.
Cool.
So I do have to say, Georgia's choosing Pitbull, hoping to recreate her success from her former challenge. I think that, she did do pretty well. So I agree with, Dakota. I'll give her $5.
I'll tip it $1. I agree. I thought Bosco's was funnier. And I don't know. Call me biased. I don't appreciate it as much when they impersonate a male character. The only exception I will give to that is Leslie Jordan when Trinity did it, because Leslie completely embodied Leslie Jordan and was like,
and the
Pitbull.
devil.
I just feel like it was just kind of like, I mean,
yeah. You liked it when oh my God, what's her name? Did Little Richard? You thought it was hilarious.
Kennedy.
Sophia Cristal?
Huh?
Sophia Cristal?
Kennedy, yes, Tsunami. Kennedy Davenport.
I thought it was cute, but it wasn't. I mean, it was cute.
Yes.
But I mean, that was more of that was giving, like Pitbull, I got really nothing out of, then I want to tap that ass and just kind of like, at least with that, it was given all those little key catchphrases that we all know.
And Sophia,
I don't think
Sophia Cristal did, who did Sophia
James
Cristal?
Brown.
James Brown.
Yeah.
I ain't wearing character shoes. I'm wearing regular shoes. I don't know what you're talking about, character shoes.
That's fine. But like, wear something that we all know and we can be in on the jokes and we're like, oh yeah, that's that person. But like Pitbull, I don't think I've ever seen a Pitbull interview. I don't think I've ever seen what Pitbull looks like off of a stage. I couldn't have told you if this was Pitbull or
Pitbull is a caricature.
JonBenet Ramsey.
Pitbull is kind of a caricature in itself. Like, just his image is kind of that. Like, almost every song that he does, it's like you hear at the beginning, how like Akon was like convict. You'd hear him and he's just like Mr. Worldwide at the beginning of every
Colin said that Little Richard wears more rhinestones than most drag queens, and that gets a pass. I would agree. But you know what I want somebody to do? Tsunami, this is yours. If you get on Drag Race, you need to be Diddy. And you need to have like 10 bottles of baby oil on the stage. And you just need to be sitting there, pour baby oil on yourself going, I like to get freaky. Ooh, you want to come on and get freaky, RuPaul? Like, I'm just waiting for somebody to do that. You want to freak off? I answered everything as a freak off.
Do you have a friend? Do you have a friend of a friend? Do you have a friend of a friend?
I always like it when the prostitutes come over and they piss in your mouth.
Okay, I'm going to do a little poll. If all of us were on Drag Race, off the top of your head, don't think too much about it, who would y'all do on Snatch Game that you can do?
I can't say.
Okay, your secondary.
Okay, I would do Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Oh my!
I would do Rebel Wilson.
She's Tsunami's like my precious.
I would have a crown and
That or I might do Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh my!
Put the lotion in the basket, or else it gets sold again.
My dad used to do that to me when I was younger, and it would scare the crap out of me. That was a horror movie to me when I was younger.
Joseph Collins said the first girl to do Brett Summers or Charles Nelson, Riley, gets an instant win.
I would probably do like, it's a good impersonation I can do off the top of my head. Like Cleveland Brown from Family Guy, but I know it's like an animation, but I can kind of do the voice. So like, I could probably make it funny too, because I mean, it's Family Guy, but.
Has anybody done Jesus Christ yet?
Yes. The ice skater did, or no, that wasn't Jesus. That was one of the gay characters from that TV show.
That was Jonathan Van. I would do Jesus Christ. I would get a big brown wig, and I'd put my tits up real high and be like, "Oh, Jesus, you got big tits." Yes, Jesus is a tranny girl. You know,
Jesus' mother. Yeah, I would probably do Cleveland Brown. Like, my name is Cleveland Brown, and I'm proud to be. Hey, Peter. Oh.
I think I would stay away from doing doing a black character and me being a white person. I don't think I would do that. That's a choice.
Well, I'm not going to be doing anything.
Well, I would say you'd be doing blackface, but it's like, that would be problematic. I feel like.
Unless you were doing,
I feel like you should do Mariah Carey because you think you can sing like her. So why wouldn't you just do her?
Mariah Carey is like camp, but she's not funny. Like I wouldn't try to do Mariah Carey. She's not that funny.
Dakota just said her idol was not funny. Do I
could do that on Saturday Night Live. Kristen Wiig does the Target lady. I could probably do her like, what is the Target lady from Saturday Night Live? Hey, welcome to Target.
What were you saying, Tsunami?
I'm trying to find this photo, but there is, the black cats with the gold from like, Egypt or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if somebody would have did something like that and been like, oh, if you would have seen what I've seen with me being on the fly on the wall or something like that, because they worship cats. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be pretty cool.
You could do like the Great Pharaoh or like Cleopatra or something.
Yeah, like something way out there,
Well, what's her name? Miss Vanjie did Cleopatra on All Stars last season or the season before. And it was chaotic because it was funny because she didn't know what the hell, like she didn't know where to get her references from. And it was pretty funny. So yeah, I really don't know who I would do. I've never really thought about it that much, but just off the top of my head.
Now, like, I wonder if you have to impersonate a celebrity or if it could just be impersonate somebody. And I'd be the locals, Walmart cashier. I'd be like, you're a local Walmart cashier. And I'd be like, doing something like a fictional character, I think always does the best because you can give that liberty to that than if you're trying to impersonate somebody that's a lot, unless you're unless you're Jinx Monsoon and you can just go there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Moving on along, let's go to Miss Diabetes as Jane Lynch, giving lesbian gym coach at 3 p.m.
Smoke break. Like I thought she was going to be able to do something with it because Jane Lynch is such a dry, sarcastic person in most of her roles. I thought she was going to be able to do something and she really didn't go anywhere with it. So I would smoke break. Like, bye.
I would have tipped it, but then it, like you said, as soon as she opened her mouth and it didn't go anywhere, I was just like, oh.
I do have to say, like, the look is on point. That's super, super good. But just the way that she presented it was just not up
Unfortunately,
to par.
we're not judging based off of how well you look, or if you look the part, you've got to make us laugh.
And Raven and
Raja.
Morgan McMichaels, they all learned the hard way on Snatch Game when they looked like the character, but they did nothing like them and they weren't funny.
Absolutely.
Moving on along to Miss Cuckoo, Miss Cynthia Lee Fontaine as Dracula. Or maybe it was Cousin It in a cape.
Her paint will give me nightmares because her voice made it not scary, but seeing the makeup that she did for this, it looks like something that, like, when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're half asleep and you see a figure coming from your closet, but it's really just a jacket you have hung up on the door. That is the face that I would see. And
y'all, they said on Roscoe's recap, I think it was it Roscoe's or something? But something they were like, Cynthia Lee Fontaine. Oh no, it was on the pit stop. Cynthia Lee Fontaine, she showed up with the Halloween paint by numbers kit that you get from Walmart, and she had like 2 of them things, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna paint myself like these. And then she sat there and used that little, oil paint by kit from Walmart to do this look. Like,
I will give her an A for effort, but I will give her
I'll give her $1
for results. It was funny. Like, I would tip her $1 because it was funny. Although it was chaotic and it didn't really make sense towards the end, it was still funny to me. So I would tip it $1.
I do have to say she came out of left field with this one. But since Sarah Michelle Gellar was the judge, the guest judge, she is the slayer. So I really did like how Cynthia came out as Dracula. But the way that she did it, oh my God.
I love when a Puerto Rican queen tries to do a different accent, and then you can understand them better with an accent of them trying to do another accent than you can when they're just using their regular accent.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, it was funny. It was so bad it was funny. You know what I'm saying?
And see, that's the thing. She put too much. She thought it out too much. Like, she didn't even have to do an accent. She could have just used her regular accent, and that would have been funnier than trying to put on. I think she got too caught up in trying to do the accent that she forgot about just being, she had a few cute lines, but then when RuPaul would volley back with it, she dropped it every single time.
Her mannerisms cracked me up more than after she would say something. She's like her mannerisms killed me. I would tip it $1.
And there were many times when RuPaul, just like you said, Mackenzie, that RuPaul tried to throw her in a different direction, but she did not catch on.
Yeah. And Mary said that I liked Cynthia's performance. Not sorry. You gotta be sorry. That's the thing about drag. It's subjective. What I might like, Dakota might hate, and what Dakota might like, Tsunami might like.
Amen to that, because me and Mackenzie, we are like oil and water, oil and vinegar, like
oil and water, I think, because oil and vinegar go together.
Okay, yeah. So not oil and vinegar, oil and water. Me and Mackenzie are oil and water because we disagree on a lot of stuff.
We go together like sand and sex. It's just 2 things that are just not. And if you've never gotten sex on your butthole when you're trying to have sex in the middle, you are not living. That is how you get a good scrub.
Mackenzie is 45, but she's lived very many lives.
I am not 45. Thank you very much. I still have 4.5 whole fucking days before I turn 45. Thank you very fucking much.
Okay.
Moving on along, we have Irene the Alien as Zsa Zsa Gabor. Darling, she studied, but she did not slap.
Zsa Zsa Gabor was a bore. So I love Zsa Zsa Gabor, and she's not like, she is kind of a diva and she is kind of a camp character, but like she's not funny on the level of some of the other 50s movie stars were. So I would have probably a smoke break, honestly.
So I will say that, you know, her second choice was Martha Stewart. I would have loved to have seen her Martha Stewart, because it probably would have been a whole different situation. So I do also have to say I had to take a smoke break.
I'm going to say I would have wanted to have taken a smoke break, but because I like her so much and because of how well she did in her bracket, I would have at least tipped her $1 on the way out to take a smoke break.
Oh, bias are we? Okay, queen.
Just Colin said she had a million husbands. There's so many jokes that she missed. I would agree. Mary said I would have preferred Martha. I agree. But Tsunami knows what I mean. Like, there's some queens who you see the effort that they're putting in, and you see that they're trying, and you're like, okay, maybe if I tip $1, that'll force other people to be like, oh, well, I need to tip $1 too. So, like, you know, would I tip her $3? No.
Or give the confidence of giving them $1 to want to work on that
yes.
specific thing.
Because there's nothing worse than doing a number and you're standing there and you know you're serving it, but the crowd is just a dud, and you get to the chorus and you've not gotten a single fucking dollar bill yet.
It happens. The quest.
Yes.
I will give her a pass though, because she's never done Snatch Game before.
Yes, that was my other point I was going to make. For her to have come from a season where she went home first and to have gotten this far, and to at least she had the character down, she had the look down, she just needed to work on making it funny. And now that she's done it, if she ever comes back for another Drag Race season, which based off what we've seen and how well she's done, if she doesn't win, I could see her coming back again. She's done it. She's got the experience under her belt. She knows what she needs to do moving forward. Joseph Collins said she had a million husbands. There's so many jokes that she missed. I don't know if I read that earlier, but yeah, very true. Anyway, moving on along to Aja as Cookie Tookie, viral, vulnerable, and a little chaotic. And I had no idea who the fuck this was.
Yeah.
I had to Google it.
She sure did wear that breastplate well. She brought that breastplate in.
She said, Rue's like, oh, you're not going to use your own titties for this? She's like, my real titties come with a disclaimer, so no, we're going to be using a breastplate for this.
I'm sorry, if this is all you can do the entire time that you are doing anything, that's all she did. She sat there and just jiggled. That's all she did.
So you're going to come for her, but that's literally what you do at every interview where the man is interviewing you?
Look, I can't help if they can't put their eyes where my eyes are. They look down. That's just a man for you. But I'm not sitting here doing this either.
I love Aja, and she is in my bracket as a top pick. So as much as I love her, it really wasn't funny. So smoke break for me.
Smoke break for me.
Smoke break.
Moving on along, we have Lydia Butthole Collins as
the look was perfect.
Pete Burns. It was edgy, it was glam, but there were not enough punchlines.
Right.
So for that, I would have tipped it $3.
Okay. It was okay. I would have tipped it $1 because it was a little funny, and the voice was there, the look was there. But I will say, I've said it a million times, if someone has already done that character and they have done an amazing job at that character, do not do that character unless you can do better than them. Because Dakota Schiffer, who is a trans woman on Drag Race UK, did Pete Burns and did an amazing, immaculate impersonation of Pete Burns. And I don't think there's anybody that could top that.
I agree.
have a hard time like looking at this impersonation versus Dakota Schiffer's version of it, because Dakota Schiffer's was immaculate. So I would tip it $1 because it was, I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't really funny. So, yeah.
I really wish that was an unwritten rule that if it's been used before, it's just off limits, you know. Joseph Collins says, hot take, Lydia wasn't bad. Rue just didn't know her own song lyrics. This is one of the few times Rue lost the volley back and forth. Lydia got the blame.
Yep.
That is also true. But, you know, again, if you're picking something that RuPaul doesn't know, I mean, you know, it's on RuPaul because RuPaul should have done the research to kind of get the information to have, you know, at least been able to volley. But, you know, that's why you go with something that Rue knows and loves, so that it's, you know, Rue wants to do the volley.
Yep. I agree.
Like, I will say her look is stronger than Dakota Schiffer's was, but Dakota Schiffer was like literally.
Routine within sincere to the point with no.
Yep.
Like, you just can't, like, Dakota Schiffer had the humor, the voice, the references, the look, everything. I will say.
But Joseph Collins, let's be real. RuPaul doesn't even remember the names of the girls that have done Drag Race. Do you really expect RuPaul to remember the lyrics to her own songs? Crickets.
Gowns, beautiful gowns.
Gowns, beautiful gowns. Moving along, we have Ginger Minge as Reba McIntyre, the boots, the cadence, the twang, the phone sex operator.
I didn't know how she was going to make, because Reba is funny because she is such a character, but I was like, how's she going to make it funny for Snatch Game? But it was really funny. And I do think, though, that Ginger saw, because Ginger went kind of last on the lineup, I do think that Ginger saw like how mid everybody was doing with their performances. So I think she kind of like dumbed her performance down a little bit. Like, I feel like Ginger could have went balls to the wall with this performance, and I think she intentionally dumbed herself down so that she wasn't stepping on everybody else.
I believe that, you know, Ginger did very well with this. You know, she executed it perfectly, I believe. And I would give her all. I would make it rain.
I would make it rain.
I agree. And I think the key with
her third Snatch Game win.
Yep. The first person to win it 3 times in a row. Just Collins said she was giving sitcom Reba with the glamorous country look. Smart choice all the way around. Mary says, I mean, this is a freebie for Ginger. She had 14 girls on this cast. I mean, here's the thing though. Like, yes, she went a little bit later, so she was able to see what other people were doing. But at the same time, she's done this. She knows how to do it well. And the key is when RuPaul asks you a question, you don't give a one word or a short answer. You give RuPaul back some. It don't even have to be accurate to the character. Just give RuPaul back some fucking nonsense that RuPaul's going to go, you fucking stupid.
Like when her introduction was, you want fries with that? Dead. Yeah. And then she was like, was the name of this song, was it called Fancy? How did you know? Like, her playing confused and dumb, and she's like, sorry, I got more than one job, honey. I'm a single mom that works 2 jobs. Like, everything about it was hilarious.
Yep. I mean, it was smart. And you volley. RuPaul wants you to make her laugh, but RuPaul wants you to volley back and forth with her. And RuPaul sets them up. Watch it. Sometimes when they say something, RuPaul like, oh, and she'll ask a follow-up question to try to get that from them. If she's got to do that, it's a volley. With Ginger, she didn't have to do that. She would ask something, and Ginger would give her so much that she's just like, oh my fucking God. You know.
She was the Venus Williams of this team's match. Like, Hands down, make it rain. She did the best out of everybody.
I agree. Moving on along, we have Mistress Isabel Brooks as Natalie Nunn.
And
Chin up, jokes down.
We talked her up so much at the beginning of this recap, but I guess it's nice to know that she's not good at everything. And I knew exactly who she was doing because I wasn't really paying attention in the workroom. As soon as I saw the chin, I was like, she's doing Natalie Nunn from Bad Girls Club.
Look, I mean,
I would have to
was
agree.
it good? No, but it's like RuPaul said. I think the judge said she picked a mean character, which she could easily play, but she got lost in that, and it was just too much trying to make it that. She got lost in here. I would have given her a couple of dollars just because of the chin. Because I'd have been like, oh, no, that fucking bitch didn't. No, oh, my God, it looks so good.
Another thing, there are some characters you can't make funny. Natalie Nunn is not funny. Like, she thinks she's, like, the biggest, most famous reality star. Like, she's the best at everything. Like, she's annoying. Like, she's not really funny in any sense of the word. So I'm just, why would you play this character? There's so many other people you could have done that you probably could have made funny, like Natalie Nunn. And Rue and Michelle did say, you were one note. You were angry Natalie Nunn the whole time. There was no differentiation at all.
She would have been funnier if she would have played up her made-up character that she does on Mistress Mondays, the Christian woman in the nightgown. That would have been funnier than what she did with this. And she would have probably gotten more laughs. And she would have been, she should have done something like that. Like, don't reinvent the wheel.
Smoke break for me.
I would also say a smoke break. I mean, that was, she is, a queen that is disliked, and she's going to go ask somebody that's angry from Bad Girls Club, So, I mean, I would definitely have to do a smoke break as well. The fact of, I didn't get it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So moving on along, we are at the runway category. We had guest judge from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and soon to be the Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot. Yeah, I love when they bring like old, like 90s and early 2000s TV royalty. Yes. So first up we have hold on. Her, but I'm gonna try to play the video instead because it gives us a little bit more to look at.
I honestly love this look. Honestly, like it's giving very Vivienne Westwood. Like that is exactly what it was giving. I wouldn't even be surprised if it wasn't Vivienne Westwood. But I'm trying to think. This was close. It was between her and Georges for me for the slay of the day. But because the reveal wasn't as big as Georges was, I'm gonna mop it. But I do love it.
I'm gonna play the video through once really quick because I don't even remember everybody's looks because I watched this Friday and it's now Monday. It's been a week. Then we have Cuckoo. Then we have Irene the Alien. Then we have I don't remember him. Yeah, Aja. Then we've got Lady Butthole Collins and Mistress Isabel Brooks. I know, sorry, Ginger Minge, and then Mistress Isabel Brooks. Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, for sure, Bosco's was like top three. Bosco and Irene the Alien and Georges were the top three looks for me on the runway. Georges and her were my top two out of the three, but I will say I will mop this.
Mop it. All right. What about you, Tsunami?
So I would definitely mop this look. This hair is genius. It's very, very weird, but like I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to wear this look.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Same. I would also mop it. I thought this was a very strong look for her. And which honestly she needed a strong look to help pull her up because it's funny. It wasn't as bad as others, but you know, honestly, this Snatch Game, I wouldn't be surprised if RuPaul was like, okay, Lollapalooza SmackDown like they did on season 14 because it was so bad. Joseph Collins says chop, and I think that might have been for something. I don't know. Mary Dillon says chop.
Saying chop to Natalie Nunn.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. So I am also gonna mop it. I thought it was a cute look. Loved it. Next up we have Miss Georges. What do you think, Tsunami?
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Huh?
Gorgeous. Beautiful. Loved it. It's I love seeing Georges's, you know, runway looks. They are always high fashion. I love this look, and I believe this is going to be my slay of the day.
Oh, okay. Slay of the day for Tsunami. What about you, Dakota?
I will follow in Tsunami's footsteps, and I will say that is my slay of the day as well.
Cool. I am not going to follow. I'm going to say I'm going to mop it. It was cute. I liked it. It was strong. But it was not my favorite.
I already know you're going to give it to Irene.
It was.
Mary Dillon says, this is how elevate Georges, but this is how you elevated it, Georges, but you keep it on brand. Yes,
absolutely.
It was very elevated.
We already know Mackenzie's giving it to Irene.
How do you know what I'm giving it to?
Because
you don't know me. You don't know what I'm thinking.
Eating Irene up before this season of All Stars even started. I already know it's going to Irene.
All right, so let's talk about diabetes.
You're like a Dr. Seuss book, so easy to read.
Mackenzie. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my slay of the... No, I'm picking. It's not. I'm not even going to mob it. This is a meh for me. Popcorn pass. I mean, it was cute. I've not seen anything like it. The sweaty armpits, the sweaty tit stains, and the sweaty pussy were kind of funny. But, I mean, it wasn't wowing me.
It was.
What do y'all think?
It's a meh for me as well. It's kind of like her entry runway look on this at the beginning of this episode. It was kind of the same way. It was just kind of meh. So yeah, definitely it's a popcorn pass. Meh for
Mary
me.
says, Dia, chop again.
So I would have to chop this look too. I don't like the wet stains. I know it's look, but it's not something for All Stars.
So is it meh or is it popcorn or is it a what the
popcorn. Fuck? It's a what the fuck. That's what that is.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me? This is a couch catastrophe.
Yes, because like this is All Stars. You know, this would be basically on RuPaul's Drag Race, not All Stars.
Yep. Next up, we have Miss Cuckoo, Miss Cynthia Lee Fontaine, taking Tirami-Suit literally.
I don't think she should have been. I think this right here is one of her best looks she has done. I love this whole look on her. The hair is flawless. The way she executed the runway, it was spot on. I loved it.
I do love the color palette and I love the suit. I feel like the dress, had the dress been hemmed and lined and the corset, like the sweetheart line of the corset was done a little bit differently, I think this could have been a very strong look for her and probably would have maybe stopped her from being in the bottom two. She would have just been in the bottom three. But I just feel like it's not lined. The hem wasn't there. And the top of the corset looked kind of like cheaper. I think that's why.
Hi, Ben. Ben says, hey, beauties. Love Island 8 down tonight. They were getting freaky. Kenzie, love the headband. Thank you. And Dakota is slay as always. Love y'all.
Forget
Love
about
to
me.
be Well, you're the trade. So what'd you give this, Dakota?
I would mop it if I could make some edits to it. I would mop it.
You can't make edits to it. You have to wear it as is.
Okay, then it's a popcorn pass.
This is.
It's not horrible.
It's not horrible. So if you watched Roscoe's recap, you will see where she said that she. Do what, Tsunami?
Is it better than the last outfit that you just saw?
I mean, yeah, it's better than the last one I thought, but
okay, thank you.
So for me, though, she said on Roscoe's recap that she got this the day of the runway or the day before. She was not able to put it on. She was not able to practice the reveal, and it showed. If the reveal is not seamless, then it's not a reveal. It's just a malfunction, a wardrobe malfunction. Once she got it off, I thought it looked gorgeous. But her walking out, leading up to her bending over with her ass in the air and trying to reach between her legs to get the snaps to snap, crackle, and pop, that was just ugh. So I feel like she should have tried it on. She should have worn it. Afterwards, it looks gorgeous. She's gorgeous right here in this picture. But what was leading up to it was not. So for me, it's a popcorn pass. If she had practiced it and she had pulled it off seamlessly, I would have mopped it. Moving on along to Irene and the Alien.
This is a very, very good look. I would mop it. She was in my top 3.
I would also say mop it. I really like the transition she had when she pulled it off. It was very well executed. So I will also say the same.
Fuck you, Dakota. Because this is my slay of the day. The reason I say it is my slay of the day is because I didn't realize that was a mask when she was walking down the runway. Like, I just thought that was her face beat. And I was like, oh, she looks a lot like, fuck, why do I always do this? Why can I never remember somebody's fucking name?
Okay, RuPaul.
Who's it? True. She just died. From the UK.
Oh, Vivian?
The Vivian. She looks a lot like the Vivian when she was walking down the runway right there.
She was giving like Juno Birch, the blue alien drag.
Yes.
That's who she was giving, like Juno Birch and like regular drag makeup and not blue. That is what she was giving to me.
But I've never seen someone do like it was 3 looks. It was this with the face on, then it was that without the face, and then it was the alien thing. And I'm not big on the alien type looks. That's just not my thing. But for her, I thought it was cute. I've never seen it before, so it was the slay of the day for me. James Sam says yes.
It was really good. It was really good.
Yep. But other than that, I mean, it could have easily gone to George's. It could have easily gone to Aja. I loved Aja's look. We'll get to that in a minute. But several of them had a really good runway. But it was Tirami-Suit. It was a Tirami-Suit. Eat it up and rip it off. So it's supposed to be a tearaway into a dress realness. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on along, we have Aja and Butterfly Realness.
So, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first, Dakota?
You can go first, Tsunami.
Okay, so this is a look that I would definitely would wear. I really like the way that her shoulder pads are. The hair is perfect. The way that she just pulled it down and made this beautiful dress, I love it. Can you play hers again for me?
And
I'm sorry.
right after this. And right here.
So her walking out in something I would not walk out in as a cover up, but this underneath was everything. She could have done something else. as a cover-up, that was big, and then this was bigger. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't like that green that she was wearing, but that hair is everything. Super,
I think it was supposed to like mimic a worm and like on a leaf, like fixing to go into a cocoon to then, you know, turn into a butterfly.
Well, I would have literally came out like Lady Gaga did in the egg, and I would have came out like in a cocoon. You know what I'm saying? And then unveiled it, and then it would have been a beautiful butterfly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this was executed very well, but you know, this whole cover up, I would have definitely changed it to look more of a cocoon.
Yeah, I do agree that her outfit that she came out on the runway in was green to mimic like a chrysalis or a cocoon, but I really love this look. Like we said at the beginning of the episode, like I feel like her drag is going to be stronger now at this part of the competition than it was in her bracket. And we're really starting to see that. And she's already shown us 3 looks if you count Snatch Game. But I really, really do like this. And her drag is getting better. Her makeup, her like hair, everything. I think this looks amazing. And
and I agree with you, Dakota. Like, you know how they start off with like the kind of outfits, and then they elevate themselves up to the best that they do have. And I do like the way that she is doing that.
Yeah. Well, and what I like too about her is kind of like to what Dakota was just referring to, like her makeup this season compared to her previous seasons is so elevated and is so polished compared to what, and no offense to Aja, but what we're used to for Aja. So she just has elevated her look. This look is very glam for her, very high fashion. She looks beautiful. So it's definitely a Moppet moment. I kind of agree with you on the entrance, like what she was walking down in the beginning. I didn't like that as much, but I mean, it was fine for what it was and for the reveal. Joseph Collins says, I liked this from Aja, to be honest. People keep sitting on Aja, but Willow Pill won with only a single challenge win, but she stayed consistent.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, my friend James Sims is in the chat too.
Yep.
Hey, James.
Hey.
Hi. Any friend of Tsunami's is a friend of ours, so hi. Moving on along, we have Lydia Butthole Collins. This was almost my other slay of the day. I love this look. This look was very cute. It was, you know, it was great. I do understand what they were saying about it being wrinkled at the bottom, but again, she had it pulled up into a reveal. So there's really not many ways something that's satin is not going to get some wrinkles in it when it's bundled up like that underneath. But anyway, I think Tsunami is shaking her head. So what's your thoughts on it, girl?
Okay, so if you're going to wear a dress like this, you need to make sure that you steam it. And I would have been.
She did say on Roscoe's that they steamed it backstage 3 times and steamed it right before she went, but because it was pulled up for the reveal thing, it wrinkled up under there.
Okay, so that's an excuse. I would have changed it to a different kind of dress. Because you're being seen with this dress. You know what I'm saying? So if it's wrinkled, good luck, sis. But I really do like Lydia B. Collins. I really do. But I don't know what's going on with this episode with her. So I hope that, you know, the next episode, she does better, because if you're going to wear a silk like that, you really have to be careful with it because it will wrinkle. And I am one to be able to see that right.
I don't think it was silk. She said on Roscoe's it was satin.
Oh, well, I don't like that either.
Yeah.
But
Mr. Collins said it's giving Heather's, and it's kind of an 80s through line with her Snatch Game. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, I do like this up. I love the whole look. It's just the bottom that I think is.
And let's get props to it. Like her makeup has. So just for clarification, so everyone knows, at this point, she has seen herself on TV. So she's been able to edit. Before bracket 2, she had not seen herself on TV. So now at this point, she's seen herself on TV. She's edited her makeup, and you can tell it looks so much more polished.
So polished. Like she
What do you think,
is
Dakota?
a very much slay.
I love that you love this, Mackenzie. I really do love that for you. Unfortunately, I am not a fan of this look. And the wrinkling and the type of fabric aside, it wasn't a super strong look because I've seen all the looks that she can pull out, and I just don't feel like it was as strong of a concept as some of her other looks were. So it's just a meh for me.
Yeah, I would also agree with the meh.
And for me, it's a moppet. Love it. Moving on along, we have Ginger Minge.
Do you want to go first or Dakota?
I'll go first. She better be glad she did well in the Snatch Game because this was not. Well, first of all, the entrance or the first part of the look was horrible. It did not look good. This looks better, and I like the fact that the dress is at least short on the front, but it's still like, I don't know. She's got this new body. Like, show your fucking body off, girl. Like, I didn't like all the ruffles. This just made you look as big as you used to be, in my opinion. So for me, this look is a meh.
I think as someone that has lost weight recently, like her, she is still learning. Same with Mistress. They're still learning their body type and like what works for them. And they've only had a couple of months from like when they filmed their bracket to now to kind of like get their wardrobe together. Cause I'm sure the wardrobe they either had to go and get it altered or they had to go get something completely different. So I will give her and Mistress a little bit of grace with their outfit choices this season because I know how hard it is trying to find clothes that fit and find out what works for you and then also what works visually on camera. So it is not my favorite look. I do not think that it is the worst. It was just okay, but I did like the concept. But it is, I will say it's a meh for me, but I'm giving her grace because I know the struggle.
And Miss Tsunami Rayne Duvall.
All right, so this is my thought, okay? I love Ginger, y'all already know. But I have to agree with Mackenzie. I know, that's a shocker. You know, show off your body, girl. You know, you're beautiful. You could have kept the hair, lose this little thing in your hair, lose the dress, put like.
And just interrupt you really quick. Not saying she wasn't beautiful before because we all think she was beautiful before, but you've got this new body. Show it off. We're excited for you. Show us. Show it. Yeah.
And I mean, and I understand what you said about, you know, your new body and people needing to, well, and queens needing to, you know, figure out their body. But you're on All Stars. It don't matter if you lost weight, gained weight, got an amputated leg. Fucking do something good with it. You know what I'm saying? Show it off. And because like this right here, girl, yeah, I'm glad she won Snatch. Sorry.
I just had a thought. Y'all see how big her smile is on that right picture? The one that's close up. She's got so that big smile. I know she's so cute, but that's a smile of someone that's seen their dick for the first time in 10 years. Look.
Yes.
Yay! I can see it. Yeah.
Is it real?
It's bigger. Anyway, next we have Mistress Isabel Brooks. I'll go first. I like the concept. But this right here, that whole little, hold on, let me get back a little bit. Hold on, get past her. This whole thing right here was messy as fuck. Like,
how did you do that?
It looked like she took a permanent marker and just drew the bikini on there. Like, it looks unpolished, it looks unfinished. Like, and then once it comes all the way down, she would have read the fuck out of somebody else for that dress not hitting the floor.
Yes.
But from the waist up, fucking gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous. Love this hair. Love this makeup. Love the earring choice. Love all of it. But from that. But because of the unfinished polish details, meh. What do you think, Tsunami?
All right, so what the fuck? First off, on the run coming out, okay. And I think, you know what? And now that I'm thinking about it, I think she did that on purpose because that was her weight. And then she pulled it down and she is basically showing the weight loss. But with the bottom right there, before you had switched it to the other picture, when she releases it down, her legs look so big for some reason, like from this costume. Like, yeah, play it for a sec. She comes out, she spins it down. Do you see how big?
Yeah. It's because she's wearing her old pads, I think.
Well, you have to.
I don't think she's using new pads. Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like you said earlier, though, this is All Stars. So you've got to up it, you know.
So from the waist up, I agree. Gorgeous. But show off
the waist down is ugh.
Show off the body. Show off that you're proud of this new transition in life. She does look very beautiful. Polish as normal. The hair, I want that hair. God.
Yeah. But again, you know, it could for her and Ginger as a former heifer and who then became skinny, who then went back to being a heifer. There's always a part of you that thinks you're still a heifer. So they could still be looking at themselves as heifers and not comfortable showing their body yet. But like, fandom is very excited for them. They love the new look. So like, you know, lean into it. What do you think, Dakota?
Her and Ginger are in the same boat. As far as like losing weight and only having a couple of months to kind of get used to their new bodies, especially being on a televised show like this and having to get their repertoire edited to fit their new bodies. So I'm sure they were kind of like rushing around. It's kind of like Ginger's, like I like Ginger's concept better. And I think it paid off a little bit better than hers. I will say I do like the gown itself, but I just felt like the fat suit concept, I kind of knew what she was going for. I just don't feel like it was that strong. I'm not going to say it's a couch catastrophe because it wasn't a disaster. I don't feel like it wasn't on the level that we know Mistress Isabel Brooks is. So I'm just going to say it's a meh.
Joseph Collins says, it looks like Endora from Bewitched. Yes, it does look a lot like Endora from Bewitched, a blonde Endora. Yep. I agree. So that does it for the runway. Who did you think was going to be on the top? Who do you think was the top two, in your opinion?
Who?
Both of you.
Ginger and Bosco for me. So
I would agree. What about you, Tsunami?
I have to agree with Dakota. Yeah. Bosco and definitely Ginger.
Yep. I agree. I think we're all in agreement on that one. Who is your weakest? Who were the two that you thought should go on the bottom before we get into the bottom?
Runway and Snatch Game included.
Yep.
I would say definitely Mistress and who was the other one? Not Cynthia Lee Fontaine. I thought she was bottom 3, but who was the other one? Oh my God, I can't even think.
Do you want me to say real quick what you think?
Yeah.
So I think Irene and Mistress. should have been in the bottom 2. I do believe with Dakota, with Cynthia Lee Fontaine, she could have been, you know, what Dakota said. But I don't think Cynthia Lee Fontaine should have been in the bottom 2.
I believe going into it, I believe going into finale or the runway, I feel like Diabetes, Cynthia Lee Fontaine, Mistress, and Cynthia were all flirting for the bottom 2 spot.
Yep.
I feel like based off of the runway, I feel like Irene pulled herself out of the bottom, and then I feel like Dia pulled herself out of the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily agree with that choice, but they ate up her pit stain dress. That doesn't mean that I ate it up, but the judges say eat it up.
I did not eat
But yeah. So for me, it would have been Mistress and honestly, it would have been Mistress and it would have been Cynthia and Dia for me. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like either Dia or if we take the runway out, either Dia or Irene should have been in the bottom with Mistress. If we take the runway out of the equation, because although Cynthia's wasn't funny by comedic standards, it was funny because she was all over the place. And at the end of the day, you're supposed to make RuPaul laugh. They didn't say you have to be a comedic genius. They said make RuPaul laugh, and she made RuPaul laugh.
Absolutely.
So if we take the runways out of it, then I think that Irene and either Irene or Mistress definitely, but also Irene and Dia should have been in the bottom 2 with Mistress. I think Cynthia was eons ahead of those 3.
Yeah, I fully disagree, but that's why we all have opinions like assholes. We all have one. So we find out that the top all-star of the week is none other than Ginger Minge.
Not with that runway look.
I don't. But I mean, I think that just shows how bad everybody else was, that even with that runway look, she still won because that choices. And we find out that the bottom 2 is Mistress Isabel Brooks and Cynthia Lee Fontaine. And if we're being honest, some people say that Mistress looks pissed here. I think Mistress looks determined here. I think Mistress knew that she was in the bottom. I think Mistress was prepared for it. I think Mistress was trying to throw other people off their game. But this looks like someone who's like, I'm fixing to win this shit.
Yep. And that's the face that I would have. It's okay. I know I fucked up. Now here we go.
Yep.
I love this gown that Cynthia Lee Fontaine is wearing. The blue and the red.
I hated it.
Very patriotic. I love it. It's probably one of the strongest dresses she's had on the runway this season. So I loved it. And I know it was just a lip sync dress, but I loved it.
I would have changed the hair to an updo though.
Yeah, I agree. As far as the looks go, I loved this look because I mean the song that they were lip syncing to is Aretha Franklin's "Who's Zoomin' Who," and it was the acapella version, which is the first acapella lip sync that we've ever had. And Aretha Franklin is all about an updo. Her hair's always pulled back. So as far as and Aretha, we all know is, RuPaul's favorite artist. So you better do it right. But Cuckoo tried and she did a good job, I felt like, but Mistress was determined, and you can see Mistress never lost eyesight with the judges. She gave it the soul and body that it, Cynthia Lee Fontaine did a good job, but she was moving around a little bit too much. It did not, for me, embody Aretha Franklin. What did y'all think?
A hard song to lip sync to. I kept thinking that there was going to be some music halfway through that cut in for the remix, but the fact that it was all a cappella, what a hard song to lip sync to. You can hear a pin drop in between that. So
but I don't sound with the spoken word, Monet Exchange and I can't remember who, but they did for the Designing Women monologue.
On soon. It was on the winter season.
Yeah, but I mean that's difficult enough to do. But for an acapella, that's really hard. But Mistress stood there. If you're doing acapella, you're not doing a bunch of moving around because there's no music for you to move around to. And Cynthia Lee Fontaine is moving around to music that's not there.
Yeah,
But,
I do have to say with Mistress, she is a very old school queen like I am. So she knows
Park and bark.
The parts, she knows when to not. And, she did execute that really well.
Joseph Collins says, this lip sync, gowns, beautiful gowns. She's so fucking shady.
And what's even more fitting is because the person that said gowns, beautiful gowns, it was Aretha Franklin talking about Taylor Swift. So it's even more fitting that Aretha Franklin, that's a quote by her.
Gowns, gowns, beautiful gowns.
I love that, Joseph.
I love that interview. I'm surprised anybody else, I guess I just fall into reels and stuff on YouTube, and that interview's been going around for years. She's being interviewed about other artists in the industry and what she thinks about them. And she's like, Alicia Keys, great writer, producer, Taylor Swift gowns, beautiful gowns. Mariah, I like Mariah, very gracious person. What do you think about Nicki Minaj?
Yes.
I don't know about that one.
So 1 second here. I'm sending something. Joseph Collins, since you said we're about done, since you said you had some Big Brother information, I just sent you the link to your email. So if you want to check it and jump into the green room, we'll be done here in a few minutes. But yeah. So we find out that Mrs. Isabel Brooks won this lip sync. And I love how she didn't celebrate. She kind of just did this kind of nod to RuPaul, thank you. I have to say, given how big of a bitch she is, she was very humble on the stage in this moment, in my opinion.
Absolutely. You can put up her front to an extent.
Yeah.
But, she does have a heart. You know what I'm saying? And people are not seeing that, which is on them. But,
I mean, granted, you also have to be able to be and show it. You have to be able to show, and she doesn't really show it that often.
Yes.
But for good reason. People think she's a fucking villain. People hate her. People send death threats and do all this. So why would you be vulnerable and show the vulnerable side of yourself if that's what people, or people are doing that? I wouldn't.
But Mistress is a different kind of person, I do have to say.
Well, y'all, that is it for for Drag Race. Next week, we will have I don't even know what's going on next week. Did y'all remember? Did y'all see the preview? I didn't see a preview on mine. Did you?
I didn't.
So that maybe the I think it's the talent show. Next week is supposed to be the talent show.
Okay, yes, it is the variety show next week.
So that should be interesting. Who do we think is in trouble and who do we think is gonna slay?
I know Aja's going to do well because every talent show number she's done, especially on her original All-Star season, was amazing. She is very much like Kennedy Davenport because Kennedy Davenport was on the All-Star season too. And they both jumped off of a platform and did a death drop and a split on the ground. So I think Aja's going to do well. I'm anxious to see what Irene's going to do because that's what she went home on her season, was the variety show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Joseph Collins.
Good to hear from y'all.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey.
So I was just asking them, who do you think is going to be in trouble going into next week? Because next week is the talent show.
Oh, it's Lydia. Unless Lydia has improved her puppet game.
I have to agree. Granted, she had a lot more time and a lot more money. She was getting bookings by this point, by the time they filmed it.
Rue had time to see. And this is kind of the cool thing. People said that she didn't get a fair shake. Once she made it through that bracket, she got a fair shake because not only did Rue see her, Rue got to then see how the audience reacted to her as well before filming the second half of All Stars, and the audience ate her up.
Yep.
But she's in trouble. She's in the challenge, as you say, she's a rookie.
I feel like her, Aja, and I'm gonna say Irene probably have the most to be worried about, just because Irene blew her original. Let's see what she brings to this one. Aja, just because she's been out of it for a hot fucking minute, and Lydia, because of exactly what you said. The butthole was not cute the last time.
Aja was literally in the top on her All-Star season for the variety show performance.
I know, but that was also a long time ago, and Drag Race has changed a lot since then, and she's been out of the game for a hot minute. So is she going to bring something that's old, or is she going to bring something that's new and refreshing and inspiring?
Aja's an old lady now. She can't jump off a box. Once you hit 35, you need an Advil after that.
Yeah.
Hey,
I did a show where I got on the microphone before it, and I said, "Look, I've retired a long time ago, but I'm fixing to get out here and buck. I need someone to go and get me some ibuprofen, an ice pack, a shot of Everclear, and have 911 on standby." Because, period.
Kennedy Davenport was in her 40s doing that on All Stars.
Yep.
Kennedy Davenport, I'm fully convinced, just is made of rubber. Like they're like, I don't know how she does it at her age. She's Pyrex. She's uncrackable.
I'm 34 and I do the exact same thing. And
I was doing the same thing at 34 too, boo. Wait till you hit 40, baby.
I'm excited.
I'm 33 and I stayed my porch this weekend and I just about keeled over.
Yeah.
Well, we're it's also the South, so it's also hot as fuck. But
I do have to say that I do believe it's going to be Irene and Olivia B. Collins, just like Joseph said. I do believe that they are going to have the hardest time. Maybe.
I want to know what Diabetti's going to do, because I don't really remember her doing a variety show performance, or she hasn't been on All Stars before, but I don't remember her.
She left. I think, isn't that the episode she got sent home on was the very first fucking episode?
No, I feel like Diabetti is probably going to be. That's the one person I can think of in the cast lineup that I think you should be worried about is Diabetti.
Yeah, I forgot about Diabetti. She is such in the background right now. I forgot she was even on the season.
Like, for real, for being such a big personality, they really did get all the big personalities through to the next round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is going to make once we get to the finale and once we see who the wild card is that's coming back, although most of us already know. It should be interesting because you've got, it could.
Because apparently they filmed this in April, and then they filmed the actual finals even after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So for me, I think Bosco and Georges, Aja, and Ginger are probably going to be like the top 3 or 4 for me as far as talent goes. But I do think that Diabetti and I think Irene and Mistress are going to be somewhere in the middle, but I think Diabetti and Lydia will probably be in the bottom next week.
The one person I am ready to watch, though, is Mistress, because I've been seeing her bucking videos here lately, and girl...
Mistress and Bosco were like straight up just like going at it in that video.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's it for Drag Race, you guys. Before we get into some information, about Big Brother, just as a reminder, if you haven't watched it already, go and watch our podcast from last night where the original 4, the Fab 4 got back together, minus V, unfortunately, because they were working. And we ranked all 26 seasons of Big Brother. You can catch that last night. And we will be back here all summer giving you Big Brother tea. Episodes of Big Brother will be airing on Sundays and Wednesdays at 8, 7 Central. And of course, the Ever Messy live evictions are Thursdays at 9, 8 Central, because nothing screams drama like a Thursday night blindside. We will be going live right after every eviction episode, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and don't miss a second of the shady aftermath with your favorite queer reality TV family. And Joseph Collins said that he had some tea.
Okay,
about
so that
Big Brother.
that right there. So Hamster Watch. So you got 3 reputable, like big reputable sources for Big Brother tea in the Twitterverse, or this case on Blue Sky, which is where they've all migrated to. You've got Mike Bloom, you've got Sharon Tharp, and you have Hamster Watch. Hamster Watch tweeted out at us, and you can pull it up on their Blue Sky. I'm pretty sure you're following them, Mackenzie, if you're like everyone follows so. Hamster Watch. A picture of like gay flags in front of the Supreme Court, and then a tornado. Like, so little bit of like he said this will make sense when the cast is revealed. And so a little bit of like just cursory Googling. I think one of these two may be on the cast. I think we may have found our gay.
Hold on, let me present, share screen, window, bloop, bloop, and
this could be absolute bullshit, and Hamster Watch could just
Yep. Here we go. If you're looking at the screen, and this is what he's referring to. These gays got engaged in front of a literal tornado. And you know what? We stand.
Honestly, that is my dream, to do that right there, but also have a picnic with the tornado in the background. That right there is like everything to me.
Girl, good luck with that. Are we thinking it's this guy or this guy?
It could be either one, because they have been active on social media, but they share a Twitter account.
Nice.
So
what they said, this will make sense more in a couple of days,
or when the cast is revealed specifically. So I think that this is it. I may look stupid tomorrow, and this may just be me like grasping at straws, but Hamster Watch does not normally miss.
Yeah, they're like Spoiler Girl back in the day. Spoiler Girl has like been missing the past few seasons because she can't get any information. But yeah,
Hamster Watch is cease and desist.
Yeah. Well, do we blame them? Yeah.
I think we all.
I think at this point we're all so fucking starved for any news, Big Brother, that we would be willing to take any rumor and run with it.
Yeah, they like tweeted out like Travel Crow something or another, and it's an anagram for cast reveal tomorrow.
Yep.
And so we're dropping the cast tomorrow. I'm excited.
And by the way, we will be going live tomorrow night at, let me see what time I agreed to. We will be going live tomorrow night at 9:15 Eastern, 8:15 Central Time, where we will be doing our draft picks, and we will be going over the full cast list for Big Brother 27.
When does the new season of Big Brother start?
Thursday night.
It's actually starting tomorrow, though, because that's when they're
house guests move into the house on Tuesday or tomorrow. We will get our first episode Thursday, followed by the second episode on Sunday, and then Sunday night at probably I'd say 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, maybe 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, depending on what time it airs in Pacific.
It's I think midnight Eastern is when it.
Oh, it's midnight Eastern. Okay,
it's midnight Eastern.
So midnight Eastern, we will get live feeds. And for Dakota, so Dakota probably doesn't know, live feeds for Big Brother. If you have Paramount Plus, you can click on there and you can watch live what's happening in the house. Well, live with quotation marks, because it's only live if there's not a competition going on, a ceremony going on, or there's something that they don't want us to know about. And then we get fish tanks or puppies or kittens.
Anapals.
Yeah.
Who knows? I might start watching this season.
Dakota, you really should. Live feeds are like injecting a Red Bull, like mainlining it with an IV. Just
especially if you're on Twitter with Big Brother Twitter, because if you're not, you're really not getting all the story. You can't watch what they put out on TV. You have to be keeping up with the Twitter stuff so you know what really happens in the house. Because,
well, you need to move to Blue Sky because Toombs has moved to Blue Sky. Sharon and Hamster Watch have all moved to Blue Sky. Like all of the Big Brother community, like the core ones, are pretty much exclusive.
And I just got confirmation from Steven. Cast is dropping at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 11 Central, 10 Mountain, and 9 Pacific Standard Time. Whoop, whoop.
Yay.
And Dakota has something. She just got through putting something in her mouth.
I was hungry.
I love how you went off camera to eat. Like it was so you don't want anyone to watch you.
She doesn't want anyone to watch her putting things
You
in her
have to
mouth.
pay for that, baby.
No, that's some Scarlett O'Hara crap right there. You don't want to see them to see you eating at the barbecue.
Oh my god, that's who I could do for Snatch Game, Scarlett O'Hara, and come down and have like a curtain rod as my dress.
That would be cute.
And
that's
Bob
giving
Mackie
very season 2.
Bob Mackie designed that dress.
Yep.
For Carol Burnett.
Yep.
I love Carol Burnett.
I don't know. I've never watched Big Brother. I kind of know the concept. I've watched Celebrity Big Brother, Janice Dickinson season. I saw Pete Burns season, and I saw
No. That is Big Brother UK. That is a completely different. That is a toned down, rated PG version of Big Brother compared to the US version. That is Big Brother for dummies. The US version is like Big Brother on crack cocaine.
And then with the only exception would be the one time that they crossed the line, or quote unquote crossed the line and upset the fans with foul language, was a certain monologue about Old Maiden type shoes that I will have like engraved on my tombstone.
I loved it.
Someone needs to let her know that.
Yes, I love Tiffany.
And if you love that, then you need to make sure that you're watching The Traitors, because they will both be on The Traitors this season.
New York was not confirmed. She's probably a secret drop, but she was not confirmed by Alan. Gemma and New York, though, I wouldn't doubt that they'd do that.
That would be
so
chef's kiss. And we also Plain Jane at FYI. Speaking of Drag Race, Plain Jane just finished filming House of Villains season 3. So that will be fun to watch as well.
Well, pretty much I would let Gemma know that she is a fat see you next Tuesday, and the shoes that she gave me were not something that I would particularly buy for myself. They were Old Maiden type of shoes, and she said that those shoes were meant to be worn on a beautiful woman. So if that's the case, she should have put them back on the rack, and she should have never purchased them because she was unqualified.
I love that.
This is a core memory. All gays come preloaded with this. It's like how you get Hall & Oates on the iPod for free. Like we all come with the Gemma is a fat on as like preloaded with.
I'll say Gemma is a fat cunt, and I think Gemma is just a disgrace. She's a disgrace to women who are actually beautiful and classy, and she just doesn't have the vernacular that she thinks she possesses. And somebody lied to her several times and told her that she was fly, hot, sexy, beautiful. And she's nothing like that. She's nothing of the sort.
Now, Dakota, that is what American Big Brother is like all the time.
Yes.
Oh, I really liked it when the
Oh, and
Tsunami.
I'm left in suspense.
yeah, or like last season,
Bentley, come here. Come here.
Matt.
I saw that live on the feeds, and like
So did I.
it was like day one. It was day one of the feeds because the night before all we
and she's
got
back.
was Angela as head of household, and then like we watched her spiral. It was like day 1 or 2 of the feeds. It was
That was so much fun.
I don't
It was
know.
a
Tsunami,
Saturday
what were you
morning.
saying? You left us in suspense.
Sorry, I don't know what happened, but y'all can probably tell me. But there, Tiffany was in the house. Tiffany was somewhere. I don't know what show this was, but a girl said
Is this
that
David's
somebody-
dead? Is this David's dead?
Yes, somebody died, and she's like, oh, and then it comes to find out it was like her brother or something, and she said, "How fucking dare you do that?"
No, it wasn't her brother. It was David Bowie, her ex-husband.
Oh,
It was David Bowie,
Yeah.
and Liza Minnelli's ex-husband, David Guest, was in the other room, and he went to lay down. He goes, "Oh, I'm feeling ill," and then like she tells her David's dead, and she didn't even go bother to check on him. Like she's like,
No.
"Oh,
oh, David's dead. Yeah.
a mess.
Yeah, that was all celebrity, or that was all Celebrity Big Brother UK, and that's Big Brother on training wheels.
Mhm.
The US version is hardcore, hands-on, like dirty, sweaty, gritty, nitty, like yeah. You get your hands dirty in Big Brother US. That they get to sit there and look pretty, and they don't really get that hot and sweaty, and they don't have to do much. The US Big Brother version, they're going to get slimed. They're going to get things thrown in their face. They're going to
the
expect
wall!
the
You're
unexpected.
gonna have to stand straight up on a wall for
Mhm.
hours at a time."
I still say Tiffany New York Caller, Gemma Collins, and Tabitha from Tabitha Salon Takeover. for-
Having a coffee. Yes.
Yep. Love Tabitha Coffee. She is a queen. That would be a good Snatch Game character, Tabitha Coffee.
Honestly, when Katya did her Susie Orman Snatch Game, I thought she was doing Tabitha Coffee at first, just by looking at it.
I really do not know. The more I think about it, the more I don't really know who I would do. Because I'm like, just because you can do someone's voice or aesthetically look like them doesn't make it funny. And that's where girls get it wrong a lot of the time. So I'm like, who could I play where I could like volleyball back and forth with RuPaul?
Who would you
You
do,
did-
Joseph?
Brett Summers, every day of the week. All you have to do is just go through her list of stupid answers on Match Game. She did every season of Match Game ever. Like she was there. Her husband, Jack Klugman, she was a great writer. Like there's so much to go back and forth with Brett Summers. And if you give a bad answer, all you do is you ask the audience to boo you, because she was the queen of like getting booed and then like welcoming the boos and like
Yep.
really camping it up. So like there's no such thing as a bad answer, an unfunny answer, because then you just pretend that you deliberately did it and you like get the crew in on it.
Yep. I agree.
I still
All
think
right.
that for Delano's Anna Nicole Smith was like top tier, and she didn't get enough credit because they said her personality on the runway resembled too much of Anna Nicole Smith, and they think that it was more her personality and less her actually being able to channel Anna Nicole Smith. And I'm like, I do not think that at all.
She didn't get a win because they couldn't justify putting her above Bianca, and they couldn't give Bianca another win. That's why Adore didn't get her flowers on that, because if you give her the win over Bianca, that's saying, well, Bianca's was worse than Adore's, which it wasn't. And so they had to give it to Ben. Was the only other viable option.
Yes.
who also
But
did
Benny
a
LaCreme was also, that was just out of this world. Like,
it was an out of this world impression.
like there's a few that we were just going to get. And that's not like I think we said before. I think maybe when Joseph was on the last time we talked about this, but like an all-star season where it's just Snatch Game legends like Benny LaCreme, like Ginger Minj, like, you know, Jinx Monsoon. Like, I would love a season where there's so many good ones on there that it's just, you know, and see what it's like where everyone's on equal playing, you know.
Jinx ain't doing nothing for a while. You see what she just booked?
Yes.
She's taking over for Cola Scola in O'Mary.
Yep.
Hey guys, I am getting off here. I love y'all so much.
Tsunami, where can people follow you out on social media, girl?
You can follow me on all social media at Tsunami Rayne Duvall, TSUNAMI RAYNE DUVALL, or you can catch me at the park in Roanoke, Virginia. I have some things coming up, and as your reigning Miss Roanoke Pride, I will be doing a lot for the community. So follow me at Tsunami Rayne Duvall for more info.
Oh, and Dakota, where can they follow you at, child?
Dakota Rayne XOXO on Facebook and Instagram. Still don't have a TikTok or a Blue Sky, but maybe I'll get one. I don't know. Haven't decided.
You'll like Blue Sky. Blue Sky is very chill and I love Blue Sky. Blue Sky is so much better than.
You can also just follow whole lists of people by category on Blue Sky.
Yep.
Like, I want to follow authors. I want to follow these people. And you just click a button and follow all.
Yep. Joseph, where can people follow you at on Blue Sky?
Oh crap, good question. I am Nosferatu 425 .blue sky or bsky.social.
Awesome. I think I'm Kenzie Joe 205 on Blue Sky. I'm also Kenzie Joe 205 on Instagram and TikTok, or you can follow me at Kenzie_reality on X or whatever the fuck it's called these days. You can also follow the Couch Potato Queens on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at Couch Potato QWNC, Instagram at Couch Potato Queens. You can subscribe to our channel at Couch Potato Queens on YouTube. Make sure you click that like button. Make sure you click that subscribe button, and do us a big favor. And once you finish this live stream, hit refresh and comment, because that helps us out so much. I know you hear that from a lot of YouTube creators because that's the little standard line, but it's really true. And you can also go to our website at www.couchpotatoqueens.com. We will be back here tomorrow night for the draft pick for Big Brother and to review the cast and to drag the cast. And then we will be back here either probably next Monday because of Big Brother schedule. Maybe Saturday. We'll see what's going on. Well, no. It'll be next Monday because Dakota's going out of town. She's going to the beach. If you're in the beach and you see a woman in a black bikini with rhinestones all over the nipples, you will know that's Dakota. Go say hello. Otherwise, we will see y'all next time. Thanks, you guys. We love you. Bye.